He was an inspiration to me, and I can't imagine how inspiring his message was to all the students here today. His story really makes his message come alive. It's phenomenal.
Please put your hands together and help me welcome Mr. Mark Black.
Thank you. I get to school on the very first day in September. I walk into the residence, there's a friendly girl at the front desk. She greets me and my parents, gives me a key. She says, "Mark, you're in room 109. It's just down the hall on the right." So I walk down the hall, thinking, please let me be the first one here, so at least I can get comfortable and settled before it invades my space. And I'm about to walk in the door, but then I get really nervous. You know, my hands are shaking, my palms are sweating, my heart's pounding. But have you ever had one of those moments where you're really nervous on the inside, but you don't want anybody else to know? Guys, you know what I'm talking about. You can't let anybody know you're afraid. You gotta put on the front, pretend you got it together, right? So I take a big, deep breath. I stand up as tall as I can, try and look like I got a bad attitude, and try and walk in that door with as much confidence as I can find. And I walk in the door and I hear this voice say, "Hey." And I'm like, that's a pretty deep voice. I'm gonna be okay, I'm gonna be okay, I'm gonna be okay. And so I'm like this, and I hear the voice over my shoulder, so I turn around because I'm gonna show him who's boss. And I turn around and I'm staring at his belt buckle. And I looked up and up and up and I said, "Hi." He was 6 feet, 7 inches tall. Okay, the resident staff has 700 freshmen to pick from, and they put the shortest and the tallest in the entire school in the same room. I go to bed that night and think, please don't let him eat me in my sleep. I just want you to live each day. Be alive and appreciate each day. Because guys, I'm here to tell you it can be over in a heartbeat. I learned that lesson the hard way. In September of 2002, I had been feeling sick for a couple of months. I had a chronic heart problem, but I'd always done really well. But suddenly I'm at college and things don't seem to be feeling right. And after a few months of ignoring it, I just couldn't ignore it anymore. I went in to see my doctor. He ran a series of tests and a few days later came into my hospital room, looked me in the eye and said the words that changed my life. "Mark, you need a heart and double lung transplant." Okay. When? 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? He said, "I can't tell you for sure, but if I had to guess, I'd say that if you don't have a transplant in the next 12 to 18 months, you're not going to see your 25th birthday." And in a heartbeat, my life changed. What if you had 1 year left to live? What would you do? How would you spend that time?
I would strongly encourage anybody, any administrator, someone in my position, if they had an opportunity to get Mark into their school, he will certainly impact your students. He will hit them in a deep place. There's no way he can't, because when you see somebody who has been through what he's been through, you're seeing a walking miracle, and that can't help but impact the students that get to meet him and talk to him.
I really liked it. I thought he was really inspiring and he taught me a lot. He showed me that I always have to be persistent and that I should never give up on my dreams.
He's really different from other motivational speakers because he doesn't say all the cliches. He really used his own story in a way that really made it go to heart, and I really liked it.